A very good afternoon to everybody who has joined me and all the builders here in Vietnam today. And it's a pleasure to be back in Vietnam after a year. I was here last time somewhere in August, September for ETH Vietnam. And today I see a huge potential in Vietnam. And I strongly believe in the builders in Vietnam. The reason being, the number of people, builders, and participants have significantly increased, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are going to place a lot of bets on the potential of builders in Vietnam, and excited to talk about a very interesting concept to you guys today. So a quick introduction about me. I'm Jobin, and I'm one of the developer relations engineer at 10 Protocol. So 10 Protocol is layer 2 on Ethereum that offers encryption. Okay, now that sounds a lot of technical jargons for you. And if there is any non-technical person sitting here, then I'm going to make it simple for you and help you understand why it matters to you. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some metrics so that I make you aware of the problem and then sell the solution to you. So typical pitch. So right now, Ethereum processes around 1.3 million transactions per day. I'm just talking about Ethereum. There are so many chains out there. So many new layer 2s and now probably layer 3s are going to come every day. And just I'm talking about the transactions of one single chain. So you can see the inflow of activity and users on one single chain. So much things are happening on a chain. And next. Doesn't work. Sorry, guys. Tech it is. This is left. This is right. Okay. No. Oh, folks. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. One another metric that I want to show with you guys is around 590K daily active users on Ethereum. Just imagine how big the platform is that it has 590K daily active users. Okay, and next, 53 million plus smart contracts. If you don't know what smart contract is, I don't think so anybody doesn't know. But just a quick primer, smart contract is nothing but the logic or the program behind running an application on blockchain. So 53 million plus logics or program of different applications from different verticals and use cases on one single chain. Next, 4,000 plus contracts and thousands and thousands gigabytes of user data. Yours, and everybody around the world, the data is on Ethereum, okay? And year on year, Web3 has been seeing 80% growth. So all this indicates to one thing, that is a lot of activity has been happening on Ethereum. A lot of people are joining it. A huge growth is happening, and I believe the numbers are going to go up 2x, 3x. But like the missing seats here, there's a missing void or a big void or a missing place in Ethereum, a gap in Ethereum, which will slowly reduce the adoption rate and also stop you from innovating. And what is that? Anybody here can say what is the problem right now that Ethereum has. I don't want the usual answers. The usual answers that I get, I've added that to the slide. That is security, scalability, decentralization. That's so 2020-ish. Nobody talks about that because we have so many chains out there solving one of this problem. I'm not here to talk about this. I'm here to talk about something very crucial, something super important, which you all are used to. Your phones have, your browsers have, your devices have, everything has this technology, but only Web3 doesn't have. What's that? Any guesses? Sorry? That's true. I agree that in the name of Web3, we have shoved a lot of complexity into the dApps and the user experience, and we have spoiled it. But there are a lot of projects working towards improving it, and we are very close to that. But very few people or projects have started thinking about the problem that I am going to talk about. It's not usability. I have, in my previous project, I worked on usability, and I see a lot of growth in that direction, but not this one. So that is encryption. Ethereum doesn't have encryption. All the million and billion and trillion chains out there and the copies of them that are coming out, none of them has encryption. And what is the problem with that? Your data that you put on Ethereum, or you do some transaction, you do some activity, everything is public. You buy some tokens, you buy NFTs, you buy some assets, you interact with a game. Right now, some speakers were talking about games. The problem with running games on chain or Ethereum, you know what it is? I can see what is the move that you made, and I can make an informed guess. Why? Because Ethereum is transparent. And you still doubt me? Then I'm going to show you a simple platform that has been used to do that. And that actually allows you to decipher user data, activity, footprint, everything on blockchain in minutes. And that actually is, I think, they forgot the slides. Okay, so that is called as Ethoscan. It's a block explorer. So if you can go to a block explorer, type in your address or contract address or transaction hash, you can figure out what is my activity in the entire span from the beginning of my interaction on blockchain till this moment. I can see what I've bought, what I've sold, where I am, what are my interests, what NFTs do I like to buy, what tokens do I like to buy, when do I sell, what kind of a trader I am, what games I play, what moves I make. Basically, I have all the data to profile you and target you, which Web 2 doesn't allow, because Web 2 has got a simple mechanism called as HTTPS, the padlock sign that you see when you type a URL. But Web 3 doesn't have that. And the problem is anybody, not a man in the middle, but anybody out there can profile you, target you, misuse your data. So this is the biggest problem. And what we need encryption. And what does encryption provide you? Encryption gives you privacy. And what that means, what games you play, nobody comes to know about that. What moves you make in a game, nobody comes to know that. What trades you do, nobody comes to know that. You could actually build Web 2-like applications. Just imagine, can you build a Grab? Because I just got a Grab ride to come here. Can you build a Grab on blockchain? You can't build that, because I can see you from where, which hotel or which apartment you took a ride to here, and I can come to your home. That's so scary, because blockchain is transparent. I can see what did you order for yesterday's dinner. I ordered a sweet soup yesterday, and trust me, nobody knows that I ordered it except for Gojek and Grab guys. Why? Because it's Web 2 and it's private. But if you build that on blockchain, it would be public. I can just go to the Grab or Gojek smart contract address on Ethoscan, figure out what you have ordered yesterday for dinner, and I can understand your interest. So that's so scary. And just imagine, what if you could build, what about health insurances? You cannot build health insurances or medical care systems on blockchain because of lack of encryption and privacy. Because your ailments, your diseases, your medical conditions would become public. And I don't think so you want it to be public. Okay, but that can be solved with encryption. And encryption would mean that you get privacy, your health data, your personal data, your location, your address, your transactions, everything stays private until you decide to make it public. And I believe we are here to give back control to users in the name of decentralization, not snatch it. Okay? So we need privacy, but we don't need 100% privacy. We need programmable privacy. If you haven't heard about this concept, this is programmable privacy. And programmable privacy means you have the flexibility to choose what you can keep private and what you can keep public. Just imagine, I have a profile on blockchain. I can keep my name public, but my age private. Do you have that flexibility at this moment on blockchain? No. Whatever data you put on blockchain is public. Or few chains out there have provided privacy, but it's 100% private. And that can be misused for a lot of fraudulent activities. So for that, the solution that we need is programmable privacy, which allows you to have controls like the people sitting there have on the audio. Turn down my treble, increase my bass, increase the pitch or decrease the pitch. You need to have fine-grained control over your data, activity, interaction on blockchain, and that can be achieved using programmable privacy. And I don't want any entity to say that something should be 100% private or 100% transparency. It is you users who should have the flexibility or the freedom to choose what needs to be private and transparent. And all this can be possible using a technology that I'm pretty sure none of you would have heard about, and that is called as tees. Not the tees that you wear or the swag tees that you get from Eat Vietnam Tea. They are awesome. But I'm talking about another awesome tees called as trusted execution environment. And trust me, everybody actually has a TE in their pockets. How you know? Your iPhones and smartphones have got Ts. And how are Ts used? Ts are used to store your passwords and credentials in your smartphones and your laptops. Okay, so this is a hardware. This is a piece of technology that you already have been using, but you are not aware of. Blu-ray movies. If you have ever watched a Blu-ray movie on a Blu-ray player, that uses Ts. Okay, so a lot of technology already uses Ts. So what is the goodness about Ts? Ts are like a black box. Like a box like this, but not colorful, black. And you put whatever you want to put inside it. Nobody else other than you could see it. Whatever you want to operate or do on it, you do it inside the box. You just get the output. Nobody else get to know about what happened, what's the data. That's the beauty. It's like a black box. It's like your secret bedroom. Nobody gets to know what fun you do in that. So trusted execution environment is exactly like that. Okay? So you can confidently put a lot of data inside that, get whatever the work you want to do inside it, and get the output. And what is the goodness about it? The exact same thing that my fellow friend here told about usability. Ts allow you to add encryption and privacy and all these features without spoiling the user experience. Because I know a lot of new technology comes and they shove in new language. They bring in new library, they bring in new SDK, and the entire developer and user experience is spoiled. And I'll be scratching my head overnight. What can I do with this code? I'm not able to figure out. I have to spend 6 months to learn it. But Ts allow you to do the exact same thing that you're doing on Ethereum without any new language, any new library, no new SDK, no new framework. Exact good old Solidity, the same set of tools. And you get one extra feature. And for no extra cost, because the affordability stays the same because it's a layer 2. Okay. And what you could build, because I told you all of these possibilities and problems. Now you are aware that a lot of things are happening in blockchain. There's a huge gap which can be solved with encryption. But what is the use of it? Because if you don't understand what is the end benefit for an user, then there is no point of me pitching here, right? What are the end user's benefits? You could actually build a DeFi application that is MEV free. If you know what is MEV, MEV is a maximal extractable value. In the past, it was known as minimal extractable value. What it allows you is somebody else can see inside the mempool and figure out what trades you have made and do a front running. And there you lose a lot of money. It is because of unnecessary transparency. Why should somebody else know that what order I have placed? It's not needed. Because when they see that, they use that to do front running and make a better trade and make profits out of that. And that is a $1 billion business. In Twitter, if you just search MEV, you will see a lot of people doing MEV bots, MEV activity. But you could finally solve that a negative MEV using trusted execution environment. Other thing, my fellow speakers sitting here were talking about games. Have you seen any good game except for Axie Infinity and few of them in Web3? One of the things being bad usability that he told about. The other thing being that things can't be made fully on-chain, because if you try to make a logic on-chain, I can go and see what is the logic and follow that steps to get into the next level or win it. Just imagine if I am, one of the fellow speakers were talking about secure random number generation. Just imagine if you build a lottery game, and if it's on-chain, you can see what is the lottery number. and you can misuse that. Or if you want to build a guessing game, I can see what is the number that has to be guessed because it's transparent. And I can make that guess and I can win it. That is the problem. So you could finally build fully on-chain games where your logic, your game logic, and the entire game logic would be on-chain, private, and nobody would be able to access it. You can have games with NFTs, assets, skins that are private and only accessible after completing certain levels or requirement. And finally, institutions would be able to get into Web3 through institutional trading. Because institutions don't want that they have made billion-dollar trade or a deal with somebody else. They want to keep it private. That's business. It's my business. Let me just take care of my business. Don't poke your nose in. So you could finally have institutional trading in Web3 because of this encryption, which allows you to keep your institutional trade or deals private from public. Dark pool trading, private liquidity pools, confidential health systems, e-commerce, Grab, Gojek, food delivery applications, insurance applications, games, social streaming services, and subscription-based services all can be built finally on blockchain with this encryption. So that is what is the scenario of Web3 and Ethereum, and that is the solution, and you can get started by building. I work for one of the projects which offers encryption, and we are one of the first ones who are doing this without spoiling the experience. So the same usability for both developers and users, and you could finally build all the solutions. So if something was stopping you from building Web3 and adoption, then this is the time that you look at it. And it's very simple. If you want to get started, then before you want to get started, there might be questions about compliance, because whenever you do something really good, there is a problem of fraudulent activity and you need compliance and regulations. You need to follow that. You can't always be the bad boy. Okay, so what about compliance? So we have got a very novel mechanism called as data revelation, which we introduced, which allows you to program that when a certain private data should be made public, you as a developer can choose that, or the DAO can vote to make certain data public. Just imagine a very bad situation happens with a DeFi app. Somebody did a very messy thing, and that activity should be made public so that relevant authorities can take action. But you can't do that on a traditional chain if it has privacy. Then that is when we introduce data revelation, so that the DAO can vote and make that particular incident or data public, so that that can finally be audited and the criminal activity can be found out, figured out, and the entity behind that can be punished. So that is privacy and all the goodness without getting punished, without getting the good guys punished and the bad guys getting punished. So that is encryption, privacy, confidentiality, with compliance, with good usability, with freedom, with flexibility. Where do you get this? Somewhere else. Nowhere else. You can get all of this on a TE-based projects. So one of the project is 10 that you can see on the top. There is a very slight white logo 10. So that is the project that I work for, and we offer encryption. So if you plan to build any of the solutions like a Grab or Gojek for Vietnam on blockchain, then that is it. Please go and check this out, and that is my QR code. You can check my profile, or if you wish to get started with development, you can go and check the tweets and the resources and the things I've been talking about, the research that we have been doing and development we have been doing. Okay, so thank you once again for being patient and hearing all this things, whether it's good or rubbish. And I hope that I might have sparked a little bit of curiosity in you about what is missing in the space and how can that be fixed. Thank you once again. Have a very, very good day.
Thank you, Mr. Jobin.